All right, welcome back to our Serious Angler podcast. We have something a little bit different for you guys. We've done these in the past. Adam and I have individually. I don't think, Andrew, you've been a part of a Bassmaster recap or preview show prior in the past.
I don't think so.
I think we might have talked about events, but nothing like where Adam and I have gone on and done some preview shows and recaps. And I know people liked Adam when Adam and I did the Bassmaster Classic preview and recap. People seem to really enjoy that one. So what we're going to do this year, folks, is we're going to do a preview recap show for every Elite Series derb. And my goal is to do that not only for every Elite Series derb, but for MLF and NPFL. Given that both can continue their schedules with this whole COVID craziness still going on, hopefully every trail is able to do it. But the goal is to do a preview and recap show for every professional event in 2021. So there we go. We have our inaugural episode for a new little series on the Serious Angler podcast. Episode 1, I guess we could call it, right? For the St. John's River. And I mean, really to start it off, I think the biggest thing that needs to be said is it's been a roller coaster of a weather forecast, which seems to be up and down all day today. What have you guys seen?
So I think the big thing for this event is, I mean, with the weather anyways, is seeing that, like Ronnie Moore posted a few days ago, there was a cold front coming in and they thought it was coming in on Wednesday, but now it's gotten pushed back. So like there's a lot of stuff changing in Florida right now. And I think it's been pretty cold there this past week now. So it's like, I mean, I'm not a Florida expert, but cold is not good. So looking at it and seeing that, like, basically when I get down there Friday, no, I won't be down there Friday. When I get down there Saturday, it'll be like 69 to 70s again. And then it looks like it's supposed to be like mid 70s all week.
Yeah.
So like after a cold snap, I feel like that's going to be gangbuster. Like,
yeah, I got the 10-day forecast here. And real quick to backtrack, everyone will have to forgive me, and Adam will have to forgive me. I did not introduce that Adam was in here. I think I'm so used to Adam being on 10% of all the podcasts that I didn't even introduce him.
Yeah,
but folks, we have Adam Bartusic joining us here tonight. You guys may have seen him on his Crappie Chronicle series. That's been a huge hit for all you ice fishermen. But Adam, thank you again for joining us, dude. It's good to get you back on the show. My apologies for the lackluster introduction for you.
No, it's fine. We're good. Everybody heard my voice and they were like, that guy's back. It's been a few months.
So what happens with Bailey is sometimes things get stuck as they're going in between his ears, but most of the time it just shoots through.
Yeah. So. At least he caught it a little later.
Right. Yeah. But going back to the weather here, I have the 10-day forecast and it seems like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's wild. Which should make fish movement big. Like you're gonna have to adjust. Like experience, I would think experience is gonna play in big time, but just people who are good at kind of just adapting. And honestly, like, because looking at the weather, you see Saturday, Sunday, if the weather holds, like it's gonna crash in terms of temperature, like down 20 degrees. So, and then like 20 or 30 degrees at night, like it's going to get cold. So like it's going to be experience and having to swing for it hard right away. And then it's going to be live and how good you are at kind of BSing your way through a tournament the last few days.
Yeah.
Well, I think they went through the same situation last year too, where they had huge weather front come through right at the start of the tournament, right?
Yeah, so I think what I'm not too concerned about, I guess, days getting canceled this time, because if I remember correctly, and I could be completely wrong by this, but I was thinking about it the other day. I think the reason it got delayed last time was because of strong south winds, which pushed a lot of water out. Like if you remember, guys were down in what's it called, Is it Lake George?
Lake George. Yeah,
they were down in Lake George, and guys were like, it lost 3 feet of water. It got blown out.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be more north winds, and the winds aren't too strong. Like they're like 10. The last day they're strong. It's like blowing 20.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be northern winds, because if those temps are dropping that much, that's got to be coming from the north. Because if it's coming from the south, that's a warmer wind.
Yeah, but there was some reason as to why it got canceled, and it like low water, just weird stuff going on. Like there was weird.
I think it's water level. Yeah. But yeah, I think next week it's got to be coming from the north if it's going to drop that much.
Yeah, it is going to be coming from the north.
Friday, it's going to blow 31 out of the northeast on Friday. And then on Saturday, it's going to blow 13 to 40 out of the west-southwest.
Dude. Yeah, so, okay, I eat my words. Friday might get canceled. 30
or Saturday.
Yeah. There's nothing to block that wind. That's going to be like a hurricane.
I didn't know about the wind, but I might go back to my original weight estimate there. I might go back to that big of a day cancel.
Yeah, man. But if they cancel a day, maybe they'll just push it back to like Monday. Maybe now that they got the time in between, maybe they got that adapted in there. But either way, like, yeah, weather, holy smokes. 30-mile-an-hour winds in Florida out of the north.
Forget about it.
I don't know if anyone's seen that.
Yeah, so Thursday night, it's 8 to 20, so it's going to start Thursday night. So it'll be probably ramped up heavy Friday morning. But it's also a week out, so it could change.
Yeah, and it seems like it keeps getting pushed back. So maybe it keeps getting pushed back, which would be huge.
Yeah, I'm told there's no grass out there right now.
Like
shallow. What's that?
Like shallow punching grass, or like?
I got multiple. So I put out on the Instagram on the predictions for people to comment, like the question little buttons that people can use, and multiple people have said there's no grass in St. John's.
Like the eel grass.
I don't know what that means specifically.
Yeah,
but just what I've been told is there's no grass.
That's super. Yeah.
Weird.
Like good information, but like what kind of grass are
we talking
here? Like not super beneficial at the point in time.
Yeah. I think it's going to be dominated. I think it's going to be one of those tournaments where it's a local thing. So like a Drew Cook, a Scott Martin potentially, I'm trying to think who's maybe a Kobe Krieger could be. I don't know how much he fishes locally.
Yeah.
But I think it could be a local dominated. I think it could be like finesse fishermen. I think it could be dominated.
Yeah. So like obviously you go through fantasy bucket A. Who are you guys picking or like looking at? I guess
bucket A. I'm going Kyle Welcher. I'm on the Welcher train.
It's a good pick.
I think that was like, dude. You look at A. You got John Cox is 22%. You got a bunch of guys that are all 4%, and obviously Greg Hackney's first time back. It's the St. John's River. Greg Hackney's popular. He's 14. Scott Martin's a local, and he's Scott Martin, so people are voting for him. He's 18%.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Welcher's one of the lower ones in the 4.2, and the dude sacked them up last year when they had that weird cold front roll through. I mean, obviously he might not get a 10-pounder again this year, but I think the dude's young, but he's smart as hell, and he adjusts well, so I think I'm going to go with Kyle Welcher.
I like that pick.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I just changed mine.
Okay. Well, I did mine, and I'm not going to change it. I don't think.
Well, I changed it.
Sticking with it.
I changed it when I saw the weather forecast.
Yeah, that's fair. So I went with Patrick Walters, and it's for a few reasons. Like number one, you look at their first year here. I mean, he just sacked them, and that's like Patrick Walters coming out party, right? Like. Mm-hmm. He just crushed. He's such a good shallow water fisherman in general, especially a big fish shallow water fisherman, since we've seen Santee and kind of what goes on there. That type of thing. That's why I'm looking at him. The other thing I look at, I don't remember how he did last year, but this is the big deciding factor for me was this. You look at Fork and Hartwell last year where he won in fall events chasing suspended fish that were nomadic, like not the fish you're going after. I think with this cold front coming through, it might turn into a bit of a live scope in Derby. Those fish are going to pull out of the grass or the shallows after they rush up there when it's 70s all week. Right. They're going to get pulled out. And I don't know how guys are going to be able to adjust, but like Patrick Walters has shown how good he is at it and his willingness to go chase them. and riding off of winning Texas Fest. That was only 3 months ago. Like, it was not long ago.
That's true.
He's riding hot after a hot fall. I just got to go with him. And at a low percentage too, on a body of water he's done well in.
Yeah. I like that reasoning for the Panoptics deal, because when we had Mikey Balls on, who is a Florida guy, he mentioned how when these fish start moving up on beds and say that cold front moves through, we actually use this specific example. And he said how these fish, if they pull off, they're not going to pull off back to their wintering holes or pre-spawn areas. They're going to be nearby, which means you're going to have to go looking for these fish.
Yeah.
As anyone who's proven that they're good at looking for fish using Panoptics, that's probably who I'd have money on too.
Yeah. So that's why I picked him. And I mean, the only other one I really looked at, I like Welcher, but the only other one I really looked at was like, it's Florida and Scott Martin. Something's going to happen. And I honestly don't know if he has a lot of experience there or not.
Right.
Because FLW is always Kissimmee, Harris, Okeechobee, and then like Seminole. But I don't know how much experience he has there, but it's Florida. Like, the guy's been through every situation there. And I swear it always seems like when there's a cold front in Florida and they back off, Scott Martin's catching them with the chatterbait.
Yeah.
And like, everybody knows he's going to do it, and he's still doing it.
Yeah,
that's true.
But I'd rather go with Walters. I have a good feeling about Walters and riding hot.
I'd love to see Hackney just come out and smack him in the face his first day back in the Elite Series.
I think he does too.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of really big bags on Thursday. Like, a lot. Like, you're going to see a 30-pound bag, like, off to the races, and it's just going to crash.
And then just like 10 to 12 pounds the last 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Andy, what's your pick?
So I went with like the survival mode here. At first I had Kyle Welcher because, the rise to fame he had at the St. John's. Right. But I completely switched it up. I went Jake Whitaker.
That's a good pick. Whitaker does well there.
Yeah, he does well there. He did really well last year when they fished through a cold front for the entire tournament. I think he was in the top 10.
And he was catching them around people.
Yep.
And others weren't, and he was catching them.
He's a finesse guy. So, I mean, I think that's where he could excel, right?
Yeah. So that's why I switched it up when I saw that cold front. I was like, oh, I'm throwing Whitaker in. And at 1% ownership, I was like, that could be a boom.
That could be money. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pick. I like that.
Oh, yeah, he got fifth.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
No John
I'm mad
Cox.
I didn't see that.
No John Cox in there. But I love John Cox, but I also think John Cox has to prove it on the elites now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't really have that great of a year.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to fantasy, too, I am a huge underdog kind of guy. I hate picking the guys that are popular. Unless it's like a Johnston on St. Lawrence River, then you're just stupid not to pick them.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, let's see. Group B, I went with Justin Atkins. And I'm riding off of this because I think if you're talking about a guy when fish are moving up shallow those first 2 days and you're going to be sight fishing and those shallow fish that are getting ready to spawn, I don't know anybody better in Group B that can do that besides Justin Atkins. He might be better. I think the only person better than him, shallow water and sight fishing on the elites, might be John Cox. That might be the only person that could beat him doing that. But Justin Atkins is known for getting up shallow, go to the wacky rig, and that's why I think he could sack up 2 big bags, and then day 1 and 2, not even have to switch up anything, keep throwing that wacky rig, and just survive the last 2 days.
Agreed.
That's my pick.
Yeah, that's good. So I went with first of all, this pool is very tough. You have like Drew Cook, who like whenever I'm in a tough pool, it seems like Drew Cook's there at like 6% ownership, and I'm like, I'll take Drew Cook, and then he catches a limit, and I do fine. Well, Drew Cook has like 20-something% right now, so I think everyone else caught on to that train from the past 2 years.
Chris Johnson.
And so I'm not doing him, but someone I'm surprised, and his ownership's going to have to go up. But I went with Paul Mueller. Like, he literally won there last year. He's really good on live scope again, and he won in a cold front, and he's only at 9.8, which it really isn't that high. I figured he'd be in like 40% with this bucket, but it seems like people are kind of spread out everywhere. So I'm going with Mueller. He's just a fishy guy, and he won there before. So obviously he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Recency bias, but I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, 9%. Why not? Andy, what do you got?
So my first choice, which I backed out of again, was Luke Palmer, and I came down to two people: Luke Palmer, who finished in the money there last year in 34th or 35th, but then I went back to Chris Johnston, who tends to do really well in Florida for some reason. And I know the first year in the elites he was in the top 10, and last year he fell off. Yeah. So I ended up going Chris Johnson because he knows how to catch fish when you have to get down and dirty and finessey. And I think he's going to look to rebound from last year there. He has a really good shot at winning it, I think.
Yeah.
When he almost won there, wasn't it later in the year when there's more grass though?
No, it was first.
He almost won when they were on beds. Like they were catching 8-pounders out of reeds.
And then one dropped the hammer with the spinnerbait.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was his first ever tournament in the Elite Series.
Right. Yeah. And him and Corey were going. It was like Corey, Chris, Clun, and Menendez. It was such a weird, and Walters, just in a slugfest. This next pool is very interesting. Bailey, who you got?
I went with Wes Logan. And originally I had Bill Lowen, but with the different, rumors of these falling temperatures, fish moving a lot, maybe moving away from shallow waters, and the fact that there might not be grass. So who knows what that means? But I went away with Bill Lowen, and I went with Wes Logan, and I'm going with him on a hunch. And the hunch is I've listened to some podcasts before that Lake Gunnersville, when those fish are moving up on beds and they have those cold fronts hit just like that, where it sets up, where they specifically use St. John's as an example, where it's almost similar to how those fish react. And him being an Alabama boy, I'm kind of just going out in a hunch and thinking that he'll know what those fish are going to do if he survives the first 2 days.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
I like it. That's much better thing than my pick. This is total hunch and just a pick of he can't have another bad year because he's too good. And he did the first year they were there. He made the final day. I'm going with Clifford Perch. Guy just catches them, and I'm not very confident anyone in that pool at all. I don't know. I'm just going with Clifford Perch because the guy just catches him. He had a bad year last year, and I just think he's too good not to catch him eventually. That's literally basically the reasoning.
Yeah. It was like 2 years ago he dropped that mega bag on the giant, like 120 Whopper plopper, I think.
Yeah, and he could have had a bigger bag. Like he had giants chasing it. Yeah. So I don't know how he's going to adjust with like the weather and everything. I mean, it's Arizona, but the finesse, guy does it all. He's just kind of a fishy dude. So I'm just picking him off of a hunch.
And
I went against the grain on all of my logic and thinking here, and I went Drew Benton because he always has a big day, like day 1 or 2. And he was the only one I could reason with picking to get like a top 30 finish.
He is going to get a giant bag and a freak fish sight fishing day 1. Like he's going to catch like a 12-pounder off a bed. Yeah. They're going to be so far up there with 75 all week. And those fish are smart. They know a cold front's coming. They're going to be so stacked shallow. It is going to be crazy on day 1.
I can't wait to watch. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's just going to be fireworks.
I'm already getting riled.
I wish I could take off of work because that first day is going to be wild.
Yeah. Like Benton's just going to, God, it's going to be cool. It's going to be such a big bag. I hope he's on live.
First 30 minutes in the day, he catches like a 6 to 10 pounder on the first day.
He's like, I found this one on a bed on Monday. I can't believe it's still here. And then he sits there for like 30 minutes on it, and all of a sudden it bites. That's exactly what's going to happen. It happens every time they're here.
So Andy, you just have to take a lot of bathroom breaks, dude.
Yeah. No, so I won't lie, I do stream it on my phone. I just have to turn the volume all the way down, and it sits in front of my computer monitor. So when people walk by, I just flip it down and I pick it back up. So I do get to watch in between clients. Just have to hope my manager isn't watching.
I will say right now, if I was going to go out without any reasoning and pick somebody, I don't know why, but I got a gut feeling that Bob Downey's going to do good.
Never mind. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see.
This isn't where.
What's that?
I'd pick Bob to do really well randomly. Oh, I said this isn't where I'd personally pick Bob to do well randomly, but I can go with that.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Group D, I'm riding off of fact and favoritism. Destin, obviously a good buddy of ours. I'm rooting for him to do well. But also the dude would guide it down there. So I think he knows it and he knows it well. And I think he's got a good shot. And 1%, hell yeah, I'm going with that.
He's actually caught multiple giant bags there. So like fishing tournaments, he knows the St. John's really well. Last year he was on him, and then they pulled out on him when that wicked cold front came through, and he just ended up scrapping together for his first ever check on the Elite's like cut check. So I think he's going to be a big rebound, and he's going to do really well. That's my choice as well, and it's just favoritism because it's one of my.
I wish I would have knew he would have. Yeah, I didn't know he guided there, so that would have influenced my pick.
Well,
Would have been the third one, but I'll stick with my other one. So I wanted to do Cliff Prince, but he's at 31%. But like I think that's one of those picks where it's pretty safe that he's going to do it. The guy's going to run around to the shell beds. He's going to run 80 of them like he has the last 2 years, and he's going to catch. He'll be in the top 20. However, I am going with Bernie Schultz. And I am going with Bernie because he had a really good year last year. He did. I don't know if he made the classic, but like that end of the year, like he had some really good events. Like like a lot of older guys lately have not been doing well, and Bernie's kind of just trucking along, and he seems to be getting on a good streak of it. And it's Florida, and I know he likes Florida and way up north. Like nowhere in between. So I just think with all those fish pulling off, he loves chucking a Senko around and kind of some of those weird old school topwater bites. I just think he's one of those guys who he'll meander around and finish in 15th.
Have you guys seen Matthew Robinson's boat wrap?
I did, and I thought the ugly stick thing was a joke forever. And then I saw the wrap, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's actually doing it!"
Real quick,
it's amazing.
Could you imagine he wins an Elite Series tournament using ugly sticks?
Yes, I can because he's really good.
Yeah,
he's legit.
He's arguably the world on fire,
dude. He's arguably, I would say, like this is a very bold claim, but like I've heard a lot of people talk highly of him. Just in terms of a fisherman, like before he made the Elites, there is a chance he is legitimately one of the top 10 just naturally gifted fish catchers in that Elite Series. Like he just catches them everywhere.
That's very bold.
Yeah, I mean, he might not have the experience to do well in year 1 or 2, but like in terms of just a catcher, he's from what I've heard. I don't know.
I'm not disagreeing.
I thought about picking him.
I'm the worst person to validate that, but I could see it. I mean, just the dude, if you want to go off of raw passion that's displayable to the public, I could see it.
He just catches them.
Somebody that grinds.
He won the team championship and qualified for the classic. I think he was close at winning like the nation to qualify for the Elites the 1 year too. Like he's just and then he won an open. Like he's good.
Yeah, and he's won a lot of money on Kentucky Lake.
Yeah.
When Kentucky Lake's been bad, too.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be really funny. I would love to see him win an event with ugly sticks and then, look at somebody who all they use are $800, $1,000
NRXs and Conquest.
Yeah. And just be like, hey, you don't need that. This is $100, like total.
Fun fact, the first 3 derbies I ever won were on ugly sticks.
Yeah.
Real quick. Straight ugly stick carbons.
That's so sick. So awesome. I love it.
He could change the fishing world.
He could.
Literally.
He's just so wild. I'm so excited for him. All right. What do you got in the last pool, Bailey?
Group E, I'm going Robbie Latuso because he sacked him up there last year, and I'm just going recency bias. Hopefully he does the same thing this year. I obviously Rick Clun's the obvious decision here, but I just don't like 42%.
Yep.
That's my thing.
And he didn't do well last year when it got cold.
Nope.
Rick doesn't do well in the cold generally.
Who are you going with?
Always.
Who do you have, Adam?
So funny enough, going off of, I'm actually surprised his ownership isn't higher. I think people forget he existed because he was hurt all last year. I'm going with Mark Menendez. Dude had a year off to recoup, get everything going, get fired up again. I mean, we saw 2 years ago, he almost won it, him and Klon duking it out. Just old savvy vet, good with the spinnerbait and stuff like that. And when those fish are going to pull off, that's ultimately where it's going to get tough. And I just think Mark is one of those guys that can go catch them. He's just got enough experience at adapting. And he's shown he can blow out a big bag there. So on day one, he's not going to get lapped, you know?
All right.
So I think it ultimately comes down to that day one and then who can adjust. So I have the same pick. It's Mark. So he's just too consistent on the St. John's to bypass him. I think last year he was battling some of the injuries there.
Yeah.
And that's why he struggled. But yeah, I'm going Mark as well.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, the St. John's, he might have left early.
Yeah, I think he did.
It was him or someone else, but yeah, I thought he left early. He had a bad event, but yeah, injuries, stuff going on. I feel good that he's going to have a really good first event back. And also, there's like nobody in this pool, not even just because of rookies. There's just like nobody I feel confident in. Not even Rick. Like, unfortunately.
Like, if it was 70 to 75 every day, Rick Klund might be a really good choice.
Well, yeah, I mean, or like, I mean, there's other
Kelly
guys
J do good there last year too. I feel like on the
throwing a jerk bait.
Kelly J got third, I believe.
Yep, Kelly J would be a good one. Another high ownership, so he'd be a good one. But like, yeah, it's not even just not having rookies or whatever it is. It's a tough pool.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see if Pat Schlopper catches him, but I think he's going to do. I think when we do our next one and talk about Knoxville, that's going to be a guy you want to look out for.
Fair enough.
I dig that.
He's very good on the Mississippi River. Yeah. And he's a very good smallmouth angler. Like,
well, I think he proved that when he won Pickwick, that he can just catch him.
And he was the only one who did.
Yeah.
Right. Real quick, before I ask you guys your weight predictions, I just went and looked at it. There's now 3 Japanese guys on the Elite Series.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see more and more guys kind of make their way in there each year. You think that's the future, though? You're going to see some more international presence?
Yeah.
Because obviously you have the 3 Japanese guys. You got Carl. I'm trying to think if there's any other guys.
The Canadians.
Oh, yeah, you got 3 Canadians.
I always forget about the Canadians because I don't really view them as, like, international.
Yeah. You got 3 of them. Yeah. I think you're going to start getting more Canadians, especially with how much northern stuff they're doing.
Right.
And
so
there's some really good.
Is that it, right?
Yeah, so Chris, Corey, and Jeff.
Right. All right. What do you guys got for weight predictions given that no day gets canceled? Because
what do you have?
I have 68.12. I had 53.
That's super low.
It was super low, but
that's like Sabine River low.
Yeah, I went with that on the account of it was 47 pounds to win for Mueller last year, and
they fished 2 days.
Yeah,
it was like 2.5.
Well, I just went because I saw conditions were going to be the same, so I went with 53.
Yeah,
but no,
they had back-to-back events scheduled, so they couldn't push it out, and it was 2.5 days. It wasn't even like a derby.
Yeah. I'm going 68.12 because I'm thinking. I feel like you're gonna have somebody's gonna have 2 strong days, and then it's just gonna be 2 days of like 12 pounds.
I'm having trouble. I kind of want to bring mine up more, like the more I think about it, but I'm gonna go with 73.3. And my thinking on it is I legitimately think day one, like whoever wins this event is going to have a 25 to 30 sack. Like they're going to have a big freaking bag. And then after that, it's going to be like 15-ish a day. And and the person who wins it's going to get one random kicker in the cold. and that'll kind of what put them over. That's what I think, anyways. But I've thought about still going up to like 78 because you just think about it, like there are just so many big fish in there. Like even when Toho's tough in the cold, it takes 78 pounds, and there's more big ones in the St. John's, isn't there?
Yeah, I would think so.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't have an educated guess on that, but that's just what my head says.
Yeah. What do you got, Andy?
So originally I had 90 pounds, 11 ounces because I was banking on it being a spawn slugfest. But when the weather changed, I went 76-13.
Ooh, I like that.
So it gives the opportunity for like 2 really big days by somebody. They could struggle one and then do like 15 and still make it.
Yeah.
So like maybe like a 25, a 20, a 15, and then a bad bag.
Yeah. I think you're going to see a lot of leaderboard jumping because of the weather and big fish of Florida.
Yeah.
I'm trying to debate if I want to change my weight or keep it because I'm thinking like whether they.
I'm going to keep my eye on the weather because if that front pushes back to Saturday or Sunday, my weight's just going to go up.
It's going
That's all that's going to happen.
But if it moves closer, you're going down.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, that's what I love about this. It's just there's so many different variables. It's not like fantasy football where it's they're playing, freaking the New York Jets. Got to put in your slugs.
What we might have to do is like a live the night before the Derby, so all the variables are checked, and do it then.
Nah, let her fly.
No, we
then in our recap we can be like, boy, we were wrong. It was 85 every day, and they caught 132 pounds. Whoops.
Yeah.
So I know we obviously have our fantasy fishing group, and I'm just thinking about this now, but do we want to get a friendly wager going for whoever wins or whoever loses?
Between us?
Between us three, but also I have to mention, and I failed to mention this in the beginning as well, we're off to a great start for the first episode of this segment. But Adam Deacon from the Bass Boat podcast is going to be joining us on these. Unfortunately, he's at work right now, so he couldn't make episode 1. But he's going to be joining us on these as well. So it'll be the 4 of us. Should we do a little friendly wager here?
Well, what are we wagering? Like
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I just thought of it like 2 minutes ago.
I think
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm for sure in. I think the wagers should be whoever wins, the other 3 have to buy them like a lure in the like $25 to $50 category. But they get to pick it. So like if it's a Mega Bass, Vision 110 or like a dope swim bait or glide bait, something like that.
I'm in. I'll shake. We're in.
Yeah, I'll shake on that. I think that's fun.
I like that.
And we're just going by the full season standings, or do we want to make our own like points race between the 4 of us?
We can make our own little private group.
I'm just saying like so that it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 between us. So that like if one of us bomb an event or like really bomb, it's not like, well, you're done for the year. It's you got 1 point, the other got 4. You can come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not saying like going off of fantasy fishing points. You're going off of just like
go off of fantasy fishing points. But like if I took first in the first event, Andy took second, you took third, and Deacon took 4th, it would be like he gets 4 points. He gets 4 points, you get 3 points, Andy gets 2, I get 1, and then golf score. Whoever has the lowest amount of points wins.
I like that.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I think that's the easiest way to keep track of it. Because like I said, if you have 2 bad events and you score like 700 points, like you ain't coming back, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're not. You might if you get 4 points twice. You win 2 or 3 of them then, but there's no way to play defense.
Yeah. I like that. So the winner, the other 3 guys are going to buy the winner something within the $25 to $50 range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lure.
Well, I hope Deacon's cool with that because he's going to have to agree with it.
Yeah.
Next.
He's in.
I could try and call him right now and get him on the line.
The only thing I'd ask is, so watching this, like we pick our fantasy picks and stuff, out of someone we didn't talk about, is there anyone that like you just scratch in your brain that for some reason you're like, I just for some reason feel like they're gonna whack them, and I don't know why? Because you kind of talked about Bob Downey a little bit, but like, is there anyone that you look at and you're like, I didn't pick him, but like it going down?
That's my guy. He is. Let me just say he's pissed because he had a great first half of the season, and I think he ended up like 72nd in the standings for AOI. I think you can see he's a lot better than what his results showed last year. I think Paquette's going to come out and slug him this year.
Mine that I looked at and I was like, God, I had someone for this and I forgot who it was. So I went and scrolled through and I saw him and I was like, yep, that's who it was. And I don't know anything about him in the sense of why I think it's going to happen, but I just have a feeling he's going to catch him. Brian New.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice too.
That would be cool to watch.
I didn't pick him or anything, but I was just like, I don't know, he could crush it.
You can probably guess what exactly the headlines will be too. Like if he does do well or wins, like you already know what they're gonna say for that. It's like the most predictable. Yeah. Like new guy does well or new guy wins. You know, not to make a dad joke or anything, but
but mine is Micah Frazier. I just feel like every year he gets a little hotter and hotter in the standings, and he's always kind of there.
Yeah. He's from like South Georgia too, isn't he?
Yes.
I believe he's from Georgia.
Too.
I think he's from Georgia. Let's see. Yeah. Newman, Georgia.
I feel like he's very well-rounded. He's a very well-rounded angler, and he's just somebody who you don't normally pick in fantasy fishing, but at any point he could like just have a giant bag. Like at the St. Lawrence, who knew he was going to win that a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Didn't he win on a hair jig?
No, not
rig. Yeah. Dude, if Takumi Ito learns how to fish for largemouth in the South, he's going to be scary.
I mean, he's just going to be scary no matter what.
But like you saw him fall a little bit though when it came to the South.
Yeah, but I think it was more the fall fishing issue.
You think so?
I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was a largemouth deal. I think it was the fall fishing deal.
He's going to do some weird Japanese stuff that you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, we're going to get a once-in-a-century cold front in Florida, and he's going to pull out some Japanese spy bait on a drop shot, and we're going to be like, oh, my God, this guy is unbelievable. He's going to be live scoping him in the like 50 feet of water in the middle of the river.
And he could be a sleeper pick. Last year, he finished 21st at St. John's. Who knew?
Interesting.
I'm sticking with Brian New.
Yeah.
But no, that's good. Yeah, no, you got anything else you want to talk about, Bailey, or are we just going to wrap this into then the recap and Knoxville preview after the week?
I think this is good. I think we'll get this up. I think I like not having, these hour and a half long shows. I think we get this. We talk about the brief, predictions of what's going to happen, go over our fantasy picks, and then afterwards we talk about how bad we were, how our picks were all wrong, and we sucked. Yeah. And then we'll get on to the next tournament.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got. So the tournament is next week, 11th to the 14th, correct? Yep. 11th to the 14th, and then Tennessee River is the 25th, 28th. So I think what we'll do is try to shoot for the recap preview show to be on the 19th for the Tennessee River. We'll recap the St. John's and then preview the Tennessee River. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Might be a bit longer because it's going to be a duo episode, but whatever.
I think like a good recap shouldn't be longer than 8-10 minutes, though. I mean, just talking about what went down, what we were surprised by, and kind of go on. If anyone has any recommendations of what you'd like us to cover during a recap or preview, let us know too. But I think for sure it is pretty cool, and it's going to be. Hopefully, it's kind of cool. Maybe some people get in on some wagers too, and hopefully, we'll spark some friendly competition. But
yeah, definitely.
Regardless, I I appreciate you boys hopping on for these. I know even if we have some stuff scheduled coming up, we're looking to still get these episodes out. Even if it means 4 episodes a week, we're gonna make it happen. But Adam, we appreciate you being aboard, dude. We're looking forward to this little segment for the 2021 season.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to it. We'll see how good or bad I'm excited to watch bass fishing.
Yeah.
All I know is I need some Vision 110, so watch out, boys.
You can't steal any of the ones I've been buying, so I'm getting all those like special color, like special release ones.
I don't believe jerk baits catch fish, so I don't need a Vision 110. Give me a big swim bait.
Yeah, if you like was it like the medium sized mega bass? Was it not the 135, but the one up from it?
I don't know.
Slide something like 155.
Oh. Yeah, no, I want one of the crankbaits Fighter was actually throwing at St. Clair, but I'm not going to name it on here. We know what it is, and that's what I want.
Yeah,
I think it's only like $15, but I'll take 2 of them.
They're like, I think they're actually like 22 or 23.
Yeah,
always sold out. Always.
Yeah, always. I'll back order it forever.
Like they come in stock and they're gone. I'm just like,
I'll put an alert on for that one when I beat all you guys. I'll be like, all right, your alert set for the perch color of this crankbait.
Perfect. So,
good grief.
Yeah, those
well, boys, this was fun. And we'll shoot for the 19th. And hopefully Adam won't have to, well, I shouldn't call him Adam. I'll say Deacon for now, just because we're going to have 2 Adams on the show at that point. And hopefully he can join us. Hopefully he won't have work. And it's looking like it's going to be a fun year, boys. So
for sure.
Heck yeah, we hope everybody appreciates the episode. We appreciate you guys 100% for tuning in. And real quick, Andy, we're repping the Bog shirts. So shout out to Mikey Balls for hooking us up with some Bog shirts.
That's
by far my new favorite shirt.
Nice. All right, boys. I'll chat with you later.
See ya.
Man, take care. I am hyped by the Bog shirts. But I think that does it for tonight. Obviously, we're looking forward to the 19th. Having Adam, both Adams, Bartusik, and Deacon. We're just have to call him Bart for now.
Bart.
We'll figure out what Deacon, like, what kind of nickname he wants, so that we can, so we don't have any confusion.
Like Barf and Deek or something, like just like bad after party.
Something horrible. We'll have to come up with something. Yeah, but either way, we're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to trying to incorporate Major League Fishing as well as NPFL. I think what we'll do, we'll figure out who's going to be on the show or not, whether Rocket solo or what have you. But even if if we have tournaments in the same weekends, if it requires another episode, we'll just post on Tuesday and Thursday and have 5 episodes a week if we have to.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But either way, let us know, guys, if you guys would enjoy these and what you want us to incorporate. But we're looking forward to doing it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I think that about does it. We'll see you guys on Monday Night Live. We are gonna have the CEO of Monster Bass coming on the show to talk about the history of Monster Bass, why he got started, the whole gist of there, and why Monster Bass is what it is. So I'm interested to learn from Rick Patry, and it's going to be an exciting show. Hopefully to see you guys there for Monday Night Live. We'll see you then.
Tune in. We'll have some fun.
Heck yeah. As always, guys, appreciate you guys watching, listening. See you guys.